I went upstairs.
Having someone to take care of was unexpectedly pleasant. There hadn't been a single soul in this house apart from me for a good while, and I was sure that I had no need for company. But Julia's appearance did not bring any discomfort into my life. Quite the contrary, it was hard to imagine living without her, and to think Pops will take her away so soon. I wanted the time to stop. I'd love to play the guitar for her. While she would be dancing and singing along, I'd talk to her about anything in the world. We'd decorate the tree together again. I'd read her books. I concluded that letting her go was an awful idea, and perhaps asking her and Pops to join the celebration would be a better one. The more the merrier, and that would surely make the atmosphere less awkward between me and Mom. Though they certainly deserve their fair share of time and privacy. And I should also have a tat-a-tat conversation with Mom, probably. I went back downstairs to ask Julia if she wanted to stay, since she cooked enough for a platoon of hungry soldiers, and you couldn't possibly eat that much with just two people. But she was not there. She was neither beside the fireplace, nor she was in the kitchen. There weren't many places where we could miss each other in this house. She was gone. The blanket was laying on the floor, and her outside clothes were where she left them. I grabbed my coat and ran outside. The wind was so strong it made me stagger, and my face and neck were tingling from the cold. There were barely recognizable footprints in the snow, and I rushed after them before they would be completely covered with snow. The problem was, I couldn't see Julia anywhere. Where could she go in such weather without her warm clothes? Then it hit me. Another fit of sleepwalking. But even then, why the hell would she venture into the forest late at night if her initial goal was to get here? The further I got from the house, the harder it became to see the prints. It might have been due to dim lighting, but they started looking almost inhuman at some point. What if I had already lost track of her and was following some beast instead? After a couple more meters, the prints vanished altogether. I continued at random, scooping up snow with my boots and drowning in the snow. She'd freeze to death if I didn't find her. The forest cracked. I thought that woodcutters were supposed to be in another direction, but the crackling of fallen trees was echoing from everywhere. Howling cries could also be heard nearby. Wolves? Wolves also move in packs. I sped up. My fingers were red, and it was hard to move them. I couldn't even unclench my fist. I swung my hands all over the place to keep the little warmth still left in my body, but it only made things worse. It was hard to tell how far I went from the house, but I couldn't return there alone without Julia. When I was ready to cross the road and search on the other side, I felt a push to the chest. I looked around, but couldn't see anything. My vision went completely dark. Some sort of sigil burned up right before my eyes. It took me a moment to process. The sigil was carved into the tree. A chain reaction followed, and all of the surrounding trees lit up at the same time. Another moment, and the night sky was shining with waves of light. It was as bright as daylight. I didn't have time to think, so I sprinted into the depths of the forest, following the chain of lighting up trees. My legs were barely moving, and at some point, I felt like they were glued to the ground. A howl, resounding, earth-shaking howl. I was paralyzed. It was difficult to even breathe. One moment, my heart was pounding due to fear. The next, it stopped beating for a couple of seconds. Every heartbeat was pulsating in my head. I was just standing there, unable to take a step forward. I wanted to run. I wanted to get away from this forest. My survival instincts screamed that it was the only right choice. And only thoughts of Julia made me stand still. She was there somewhere. She's probably very cold in a place swarming with wolves, bears, and God knows what else. She needed me. Pop's voice echoed in my head. If you bear no ill will, you have nothing to fear. As if it was my permission to move, I made a step forward again and again. I battled against snow and wind, while blurry shadows moved around at the edge of my vision. One of them was especially slim and horrifying. I felt the keen eyes of its owner on my back. I was finally able to get into some sort of clearing. Julia was there. She stood among the marked trees, her back turned to me. Her head limped to the side, and I was able to see her face, a pair of eyes shining with ominous, otherworldly light. Julia's body floated upwards as if she was a puppet and someone was pulling her strings. The sky was pulsating. My eyes hurt as if I was looking at the sun for a long time. Her arms spread aside and another howl hit my ears. Much harder than last time. As if waiting for a signal, a flock of ravens shot into the sky. I didn't know if my nearly blind eyes were deceived by the changing colors or by the dark stains, but I saw the form of a bear towering over the forest, instilled awe and fear. I sat in the snow, motionless and empty. I didn't feel cold or fear. I couldn't feel the passage of time. My eyes were glued to the painfully pulsating sky and Julia's hair fluttering in the wind. I could hear the chains clinging and fearful voices coming from the road. Woodcutters were fleeing the forest en masse. There's gonna be another commotion in town tomorrow, and all the newspapers will write about the spirit of the forest. The spirit that was right before my eyes. The bear's form suddenly became clearer, and I was able to make out fur on its giant paws, along with incredibly long claws. Andrew, they're gone. My voice was barely audible, but that gave me just enough confidence. Andrew, they're gone, so leave her be. The bear turned its head towards me. Andrew, please. It just stood there for some time. I couldn't reliably tell if it looked at me or if it was checking if the wood cutting machines were really gone. Then it howled for the third and final time, and the sky lit up with all sorts of colors once more. I went completely blind for a good minute. When my sight returned, I was standing in the middle of darkness. The aurora was nowhere to be seen, a full moon and a myriad of stars. were decorating the sky. The tree senegals were all gone without a trace. Julia was laying in the snow. I rushed to her side. My hands were completely numb, so I pressed my lips against her forehead instead. Freezing cold. For a split second, it seemed that she was lost forever, but then she gently grabbed my sleeve and whispered, "Julia, it's so cold." I picked her up and ran towards the road without thinking. It was better than drowning in snow again. I didn't feel the weight in my hands. I didn't feel fatigue or the wind. All I could think of was that Julia was cold, that she would freeze to death. I didn't have the time to feel pain. I couldn't remember how far I went and how I was able to find my house. I came back to my senses only by the time I put Julia on the couch and covered her with a blanket. Here, beside the fireplace, I was finally able to feel all the cells in my body again. They were all screaming for help, and that scream was so intense that I wanted to join them until the pain would be gone. Julia looked ghastly, her face pale, her lips blue. She was hardly breathing. Her cheeks took a long while to regain their pinkness. I crashed to the floor by her side in hopes that my limbs would return to form faster that way. When Julia was asleep, she didn't look like an adult at all. There was a little girl that didn't want to go to sleep in her nest and listen to the howling wind and the clang of a hammer instead. What would have happened if I didn't find her? How much time had passed? What's up with this forest? What were those runes? I thought before that Julia was sleepwalking because she wanted to come back home and see her grandpa, but now I was sure it had to do with the forest guardian. But it only spawned more questions. My head was spinning. That shadow following me in the forest, who did it belong to? If the spirit of the forest existed, did the same apply to the water spirits, or house spirits, or the forest witch? Why? If the forest needed a guardian, it didn't pick someone actually living here. Me? Why Julia, who was thousands of kilometers away? My thoughts interrupted each other, expanded, got louder and louder until Julia groaned weakly. Julia, hey. Andrew, are you awake? Julia, how long was I gone? I'm so sorry. Andrew, how do you feel? Julia, I feel a bit strange, but why do you ask? What's the time? Andrew, it's already past 11. Julia, oh no, why didn't you wake me up? Andrew, I was too busy with something. Julia, my head is swimming. I saw such a terrible nightmare. It wasn't the first time, but it was much weaker before. Andrew, and what was your nightmare about? Julia, I was there with Grandma. She was leading me through the forest by the hand. There was an aroma borealis and also you. Such a weird dream. Andrew, yeah, sometimes you see the strangest things in there. Julia, the forest witch was there as well. Andrew, did she scare you? Julia, no, she wasn't trying to harm me. Rather, she wanted to help. Was there anyone else I didn't know? Maybe those eyes were just a fruit of my imagination. I could only see the bear and Julia because of my temporary blindness. I decided to keep what happened a secret from her, for now at least. I wouldn't have believed it if I was told something like that. She also needed to rest. Julia, did anybody come? I shook my head. Julia, they should have been here long ago. We have to call them. What if something happened on the way here? Andrew, I'll do it right away. Are you sure you're alright? Julia, yeah, just a bit hungry. I smirked and went outside. The wind disappeared as quickly as it started. The air was still. The snowflakes, it seemed, could dance through it endlessly without touching the ground. It was warm. I had an unread message from Mom, a familiar car plate number belonging to supposed driver. Everything clicked. Andrew, you old bastard. I dialed Mom's number. She answered almost immediately. I already knew the answer to my question, yet I couldn't help but ask. Andrew, where are you? Mom, I'm really sorry, but it seems like I won't make it. We're stuck in the middle of the forest, and I think it'll be a while. The car sank in snow. We've called an evacuation vehicle, but who knows how long will it take them. It's New Year's Eve, after all. I felt a yoke tightening on my neck. A yoke I was quite eager to get into, to be honest. Andrew, are you okay? Mom, yeah, don't worry. The heater is running, and I'm in my winter clothes. I also have some hot coffee and good company to go alongside it. Yeah, right. Julia poked her disheveled head from the doorway. Julia, can we have dinner? I'm dying from hunger. Her stomach growled in confirmation. I made a yeah, sure, but I'm still a bit busy here gesture with my head. Julia nodded understandingly and went back. Mom, do you have a female guest? Andrew, something like that? Mom, she has a sweet voice. Andrew, can you try to explain your location? I'll go pick you up. Mom, it's unnecessary. I don't know my way around here at all, and we've already called for the evacuation team. Would be really awkward if it arrived here and we were gone. Andrew, I can at least pick you up. Mom, seriously, drop it. Spend the evening with your guests. Me and you will have plenty of time later. I didn't reply. I had no desire to press any further, but I didn't want to leave her in the forest either. Mom, is she a good girl? Andrew, seems like it. Mom, I'm glad. The moment of awkward silence followed. Mom, well then. Andrew, hey Mom. Mom, huh? Andrew, do you like salads? We'd been talking for roughly 20 minutes. I realized that only when I looked at the watch. Julia sprung up when I came back. Julia, what took you so long? Did you talk to Grandpa? Andrew, no, I only talked to Mom. Julia, you've been talking to her the whole time? Andrew, yeah. Julia, and? Andrew, everything's fine. She squinted and looked me straight in the eye. Andrew, I'm serious. Julia, that's wonderful then. I could only shrug to that. Andrew, I guess. Julia, when will she come? Andrew, she's not coming. Julia, wait, but... Andrew, don't even ask. Everything's fine, but she's not coming tonight. Julia, okay. We still have to call Grandpa. Andrew, he's not coming as well. Julia fell silent. Confusion flashed through her face at first, but then came enlightenment and embarrassment. Great. It seemed like I wouldn't need to explain anything. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The wall clock reminded us of the time. Andrew, it's almost 12. Julia, and we still haven't had dinner. Andrew, sorry about that. It smells delicious. She proudly puffed out her chest. Julia, I know. Too bad we won't be able to taste every dish. Andrew, why? Julia, fireworks, or did you forget your promise? Andrew, right now? Julia nodded. She was quite serious about it. Andrew, just don't expect too much. They're pretty old. I grabbed the pack of fireworks, and Julia took glasses and a bottle of champagne. We went outside. The treetops were engulfed by moonlight. A full moon. After that spectacle of light in the forest, the stories from her grandmother's book didn't seem comical at all. They sure resembled fairy tales, but now myself took part in it. Julia, I've already forgotten how beautiful this place can be. You can even see all these stars. How much till 12? Andrew, 1 minute. I was destined to be madly in love with this girl. And I was happy that I decided that before the bear magic made that choice for me. Julia, go! I placed the fireworks into the snow, lit up the fuse with trembling hands, and returned to Julia, fumbling through the snow piles. She handed me a glass of champagne. Julia, I'm so glad to share this moment with you. I looked at her completely speechless, her cheeks flushed from my intense stares. I was lucky to meet her. No matter how long we knew each other, she'd still be as cute, smart, and bright, as loving towards her grandpa and the winter holidays. I never imagined my future. Couldn't see myself surrounded by family. But all of that was so easy with her around. Almost too easy. I only needed to close my eyes to picture our future, kids and our dog. Evenings we spend beside the fireplace, walks in the woods, Mom and Julia sharing their women's secrets, and Pops coming to see his great-grandchildren. All of that came to mind. As well as the giant tree. We spent hours decorating, taking breaks for hot chocolate and cookies. I saw her smile. And for that last part, I didn't even need to close my eyes. I wanted to look at it forever. And if this ancient firework will go off, if there's gonna be at least one little spark. A loud clap rang out. A fairy rocket sprang into the sky and shattered into a million of bright pieces. I could see every single one of them in Julia's eyes. Julia, come on, make a wish. I didn't have to think for long. If there was a single person that would enter my world and stay there forever, it should be her, a granddaughter of a weird old man, cute and funny, bear girl with a bottomless stomach. I gumped my champagne in one go. Andrew, stay with me. Julia blinked in surprise, and I used that opportunity to draw her close and steal a kiss from her. This was the brightest day of my life, and if every day after this will be the same, if I would be able to see her smile, I'd love to relive this life a million times. Our lips didn't part until the last flash left the charred fireworks box. Please stay with me at any cost. I kept kissing her until the red and green sparks no longer lighted the sky.
And when she was finally able to catch her breath, I heard her whisper, "Of course."
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year! Julia, I missed you so much. I want to ask so many things. Nicholas, you'll have plenty of time, lass. The most important part is that you're nearby. We'll meet soon. Julia, yes, but... Nicholas, Julia, I just can't wrap my head around it. Why did you sell the house? Nicholas, and what's wrong with that? Julia, it's our house. You told me our family would live there for centuries to come. Remember how you told me that I would raise my children and grandchildren here? Nicholas, I do.
Julia, then why?
Nicholas, Julia, Nicholas. Happy New Year, Julia, my girl. Finn,